Hello to the Hylo community. Welcome to our live series with Hylo. We're so excited to host Hannah and Yasmina today. Welcome. How are you today?
We're doing really well. It's a fun time.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're so excited to be here today.
We're so happy to have you. So tell me about your mission. Like, what is the Planetary Health Alliance? What is your purpose?
So, the Planetary Health Alliance, our main purpose is to understand how changes to the Earth systems are affecting the well-being and health of humans and the rest of life on Earth. So, what we really do, we're an alliance. We have about 20 to 30,000 people from around the world who are subscribed to our newsletter, for example, and we use Hylo specifically as our online community platform where we promote collaboration and collective action. So, really, what Planetary Health Alliance is trying to do is create a space where all of these people from across the world, across disciplines, borders, can come together and engage with one another, exchange ideas, and collaborate on various initiatives, whether it's like research, community projects, art projects, whatever it is, as long as it's focused on how like global environmental changes are affecting human health. So that's a little bit about PHA and our mission.
That's amazing. I love the diversity of the reach. And I'm curious, so is it mostly an online community? Do you also gather in person? Do you have an in-person activation as well? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I can touch a little bit about that. So we are an online community and an alliance. So as you guys been talked about, being an alliance, we also have 450 organizational members from over 75 different countries. And I think our Hilo community is around 3 or 4,000
About
individuals.
five, yeah,
Yeah,
four to five
4 to 5
thousand.
thousand
Yeah.
individuals now. And so we are really big on online meetings, but we also do have an annual meeting every year. So we have or every 18 months, we have the Planetary Health Annual Meeting. Our next edition will actually be held in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and this October. So it's something we're really excited about. So every 18 months, we gather the planetary health community in these big annual meetings where people can come together, share research, talk face to face. And it's a really fun event for everyone to come and join.
I love that. And what an amazing destination. Hopefully one day you can host it in Morocco. I don't know if you have members in Africa, but if you ever need that connection, I'd love to help make that happen. That's really cool. So tell me about how you discovered Hylo. Like how did you come across the mission of Hylo, the technology, and how has it been for you to use Hylo as a platform?
I think we're one of the earliest groups to come onto Hilo. I actually don't know how we discovered it. It was before both me and Yasmina's time, but I think PHA probably was one of the main co-collaborators when Hilo was initiated, is what I believe. I may be wrong, but that's kind of my thought process. And I think Yasmina, you can touch a little bit about how we use Hilo and what it's great for.
Yeah, like something that we love about Hylo is how aligned it is with our mission. Like a lot of our values overlap, whether it's like pro-social justice, accessibility, inclusion, and equity, all of that. And so that's really aligned with what PHA values. And we love Hylo for that reason, because that's something that's really ingrained in the platform, the sort of accessibility and inclusivity, being able, for example, to use like I just posted a job opportunity earlier, and being able to use the hashtag job and create like a whole nother page where people can just go and all the information is centralized according to various topics, and like everything is just organized in a way that I feel like it's very accessible and user friendly, which is like really important when we have a global audience. And especially when like people might have access to different levels of Wi-Fi. And so like I feel like Hylo is really an accessible platform, and like which is why we really love it. And also it's so mission driven and purpose driven. And that's like exactly what we're looking for. And I've joined, some of your community calls, and I've met some of your other members. And those are exactly the sorts of people we're also looking to meet and collaborate with and bring into the planetary health like community and movement.
I love that. Well, I mean, PHA is one of the most active Hilo communities on the platform. So we're so lucky and so excited to have you. I'm curious, like what would you say is like a current need that you have as a community? Like what would be if you had a magic wand and like anything is possible, what is your biggest need currently within your group?
I For us, really, it's getting that active engagement. So even though we have such a large community, we find that it's very select individuals or like kind of the same people who are on the platform and the same people who are talking and collaborating and being actively involved. So we're really looking for ways to, if we could get everyone to check Hylo at least once a day and, engage and comment, that would be what we're really looking for, is trying to figure out better ways that we can re-excite people about Hylo. I know we're super excited for the redesign, and we think that's going to be really big to make people more excited to come back to the platform and check it more regularly. And it's really difficult now, there are so many different platforms to talk, but Hylo is what PHAs were most passionate about. And I think we really are hoping that we can get our members to start checking it more regularly and start commenting and kind of continuing building that community.
And I think
Absolutely.
like the new approach you're taking with like optimizing like the mobile app and having it be more like a chat feature, I think that's something that is really needed. And I think that's something that'll really help promote engagement in our community, just because we are global and so many of our members use WhatsApp as like their primary form of communication. So just having Hylo sort of, mimic that in ways, or just be more like comfortable and usable for them. And I think that's really going to help with the engagement aspect.
Absolutely. And I find, sometimes also it's about the stewardship, like, Hannah and Yasmina, I'm sure like you're the stewards of the community. So you're ensuring that people are invited to these gatherings, to these events. And so I think sometimes it is our role also to nudge people to return to technology when I think, as you said, people are saturated by so many technologies and platforms and online, and are looking for that depth of connection as well and collaboration. So I like that you also have this in-person gathering every 18 months, because that's also a place to redirect people. Like there's an ongoing continuous community happening every month where people can support each other, and like features like the ask and the request, the ask and the give, the map feature where you can see all the people around the world, and projects happening around the world. So that's really cool. I'm curious, like how can people find you? Like, so is it an open community? Is it an application process to join the Planetary Health Alliance? Like, how do we promote you, and how tell people about you?
So it's an open community. Anyone can join, but once you actually find our group, you then have to fill out a quick form. I think there's only a few questions on it, just asking about your interest, your email, your location, what you want to use Hylo for, why you're interested in planetary health, sort of those basic questions. And then from there, they're free to join our main group. And then we have like tens of subgroups. I don't even know how many, but a lot of subgroups as well. So if you're from a specific region and want to join a hub or collaborate locally, you have the freedom to do that, as well as join like education groups or whatever you're interested in. And so there's a lot of flexibility, and you have the freedom to join any of those groups as an individual member, without like a formal application, basically.
And I think to find us, people just have to look up the Planetary Health Alliance. So from our website as well, we redirect to Hylo. And then within Hylo, if you just search Planetary Health Alliance, we should pop up as PHA.
Amazing. Well, I'm so excited to tell everyone about you. In fact, we'd love to highlight you in one of the community calls. Like we gather once a month. And so maybe we can, have you come share about the mission and purpose live. As you shared earlier, there are people from all over the world, and the magic of Hyla is the interconnectedness of all these different groups. And sometimes like there are communities who don't even know that there are other communities on Hylo. And so we'd love to highlight the Planetary Health Alliance and just, bring more people to you, and vice versa. So really excited. Well, thank you both so much. Maybe one final question, like as community stewards and people like leading this global movement, what advice would you have for people who are just starting a new group and a community, in terms of stewardship? Like what, maybe one advice, wisdom that you can share?
I think something at least I've noticed for me, Hannah might have something different, but on these community platforms, I think it's so important to acknowledge the contributions coming from your members. So when members are posting about their research or events coming up, just like even simply responding and replying and acknowledging and showing that they're valued and that we care about what they're working on and want to keep that going, like I think that's been really helpful. And we've started even like tagging members who might have like similar interests in posts. Like if someone posts about the intersection of nutrition and the climate crisis, then we might be like, hey, you should check out this other member who's like focusing on this initiative. So really just like you said, the sort of interconnectedness and like leveraging that to network and bring people together.
And along the same veins as what Yasmina just mentioned, I think it's really important to be consistent on Hylo, and be consistent in your community. So if you're building a community, you can't just create it and then assume that it's going to build itself. You really need to put in the effort and the work to comment on other people's posts or be posting yourself if other people aren't posting, creating discussion topics, and just making sure that you're giving people that chance, and really cultivating it, and creating a group is the first step. Cultivating it is a lot of work and it takes effort, and it's something that's really important though.
It's so true. I always say like the secret of engagement is engagement. If you don't engage, nothing happens. So you have to have build that habit of commenting, responding, and not just the steward, but also members starting to do that in a natural way. So I love that. Well, it's such a pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for coming on the Hylo Live series. And we can't wait to also host you on our upcoming community calls. Thank you so much.
So much, Yasmin.
Thank you for having me.